Good evening and welcome back to the channel. So the last video I did, I promised you guys a view of a different type of curve tracer. So I'm going to show you this picture. This is what I got off eBay. I'm looking at it thinking it's, like 12 inches wide, 8 inches high, roughly. When it actually gets here, this thing is rack mount. You can't tell because it's got this frame thing on the front. You could either set it on your desk with the legs underneath or put it in a rack. So I purchased this. I don't remember exactly what I paid, but it was less than $50. And finally it arrives and I'm looking at this box going, geez, this thing's heavy. So I'll go get this out of the storeroom and bring it back in here and show you guys. So when I finally get this thing here and get it out of the box, this is what showed up. I put my extra large coffee cup next to it for comparison. I have to zoom back out here. This thing's massive, and I have never seen a curve tracer like this. So I look at the name on it and try to find a manual for it, and I can't find nothing, not a damn thing. So this thing sat in my repair pile for 2 years. And one day I decided to try again. So I looked it up and I find this article on Wikipedia. So this is built by a company called Norden-Ketay. And here's what I find out. Norden made bomb sights for the bombers in World War II. They were a defense contractor. So right away I'm thinking, that's why you can't find anything on it, because it's all hush-hush. But after the war ended, they had nobody buying bomb sights. I actually found out later in a different video that the airplane that dropped the bomb on Hiroshima had one of these Norden bomb sights in it. So, about 1955, they merged with a company called Ketay. So Norden was the founder of Norden. I can't remember his first name, but he was pretty much a genius from what I've read. And they go into public market, right? So this is one of the first machines they built, and it's called the BCT-300, and can't find anything on it except that they made, aftermarket commercial devices for the public, not bomb sights or military defense or nothing like that. And wouldn't you know it, a week after that I found the owner's manual on eBay, so I snagged it. So give me a minute and I'll dig that out and show it to you. So this is what I found on eBay. I don't know if you can see this. It's in a very old folder, and let me get this put apart here just a second. Comes with some cover letters. Oh, there it is. I paid just under $40 for this with the shipping. There's an introduction letter, the cover, but this was so new that most of these pages in here are mimeographed, like with the purple machines they had back in grade school. So I photocopied all of these and luckily was able to do some editing to get them printed and readable. And of course, being on eBay, this thing didn't work. So let me get the covers off and I will show you what's inside. So this is the top view. I'm going to show you some of this stuff. Boy, they don't build stuff like this at all anymore. The thought and design that went into this is incredible. Let me get my stuff out. Okay, so main transformer. These two are filter caps, and these two are, I think they're 105 or 1V2s, whatever they call them, voltage regulator tubes. And they clamp the positive and negative supply. This one is a clamp for the sweep frequency. And here's an amazing thing. This was built around 1956, I believe. And every single one of these resistors was exactly on tolerance. Okay, so I'm going to turn this off for a second, dismount the camera. Okay, back again. So the first thing that was broken on here was the connectors. They got them alphabet labeled like A through Z. So I basically got these new connectors off of Temu and wired them in. Made sure they were correct according to the schematic. Now, instead of using rotary switches, I don't know if you can see this down in here. Let me get a flashlight. This whole back of the PC board is silver plated. And the switches mount on the shafts, and the wipers are like made up of, I don't know, 10 or 12 different real fine wires, so they track really good. Now, after I found out it didn't work, what I discovered was that two of these wafer switches, I guess you'd call them, were switched. So when it said it was at ground with the wrong switch in place, it did not be on ground. Now this part here I had to modify. They had the resistors fastened in just by the leads, and they were breaking off, so I come up with this little hoop. Kind of learned that from the ICO substitution box. All 10 watt resistors, and I replaced the capacitors, of course. Radios only. Okay, so now the controls. Okay, they didn't have like an automatic stepper like you can find on some of these. I got a kit from Thailand for about 30 bucks that has a rather clever way of doing that. But this one, let's see if you can see this step down there, and you would just rotate this knob for the different current variables. So up here you have current per step from 1.1 microvolt all the way up to 1 millivolt, and then your selector, how you want to apply it. And over here you have variable bias and voltage bias. Broke the two knobs here trying to get these off, and I ordered another pair, but they sent me the wrong one, so I'm still waiting to them. This is what they look like. And good Lord, you wouldn't believe how hard it was to find just a 1/4 inch shaft with a flare on it. Anyway, so up here you have the connection knob, and you have current or voltage, and inverted and non-inverted. Over here is your sweep selector. This is basically volts going to the device, I believe. I haven't actually got this fired up yet. The test voltage applied, and you can have plus and minus bias, or the sweep, or an open circuit, or ground. And on this one you have the input bias, which you can select however many milliamps you want. And down at the bottom is the source impedance. So this, I believe, hooks to the base, and you can vary that a little bit. And then this side hooks to the collector, and half of those are 10 watts. So this thing will dump a lot of current. Then you got your base collector emitter inputs, and over here is your display. So this goes to the scope, and according to the book, the left side is current going to the X channel, and the right side is voltage going to the Y channel. But it appears to me it's wired backwards, so I'm not sure. And then in the book it shows you can add this adapter for this. So being, I went ahead and built my own. And we have these new things now called zero insertion force sockets. made it so it would plug right in there. Kind of like the good old Tektronix one. So this is for small transistors. And then I made another one. TO3 also plugs right in. So I'm really curious to try this thing out. I'm still waiting on the knobs, but I really don't have to. So when I get this figured out, I will post another video of how it works testing the transistors. And if anybody needs a copy of the owner's manual for this, I have one. I'm thinking I'm gonna send a copy of the photo scans off to Glendale Manuals, and he might put it up for sale or whatever. He does really good jobs on the manuals. Anyway, that's it for now. Boy, you talk about boat anchors. This is what I started the orphaned electronics, because I couldn't find anything out on it. And oddly enough, when I'm looking in here in the owner's manual, the people they sent this to was a defense contractor in California. So anyway, I'm really happy I was able to find that owner's manual on eBay. And when I found the article on Wikipedia, it really explained a lot about why I was having trouble finding anything out about this. Anyway, so that's going to be the end of this video. And keep your eyes peeled when I get this fired up and testing. Have a good evening. Bye-bye.